Grand greetings to all my fellow brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be continuing our King James Version New Testament read-along, and we'll be reading chapter 10 in the book of 2 Corinthians today. Before we get started, we are going to say Yahushua's prayer, so those of you who would like to join me, please do so. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Alright. So I'm going to open up the good book and then switch scenes so we can read together. And I remember at verse 9 to scroll down for y'all. The title over this chapter is Paul's Spiritual Might. Verse 1. Now I, Paul, myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Christ, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am bold toward you. But I beseech you, that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which reckon of us as if we walked according to the flesh. Right here in this, I don't think I had a manuscript in, I didn't have a manuscript in verse 1, but let's check this out. In presence, in outward appearance, who in outward appearance am based among you. Okay. I didn't have that in my book, but I do have this one right here. Instead of think, it is which reckon right here, which reckon of us. Let's continue. Verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty to Yahuwah, to the pulling down of strongholds. As you guys see, another manuscript. Instead of through God, it says to Yahuwah. And let's continue. Verse 5. Casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahuwah, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Do ye look on things after the outward appearance? If any man trust to himself that he is Christ, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Christ, even so are we Christ. For though I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which Yahushua hath given us for edification, and not for your destruction, I should not be ashamed, that I may not seem as if I would terrify you by letters. We'll scroll down. I can. Alright, so we got verse 10 through 18. Where we at? Verse 10. For his letters, say they, are weighty and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak, and his speech contemptible. Let such a one think this, that such as we are in word by letters, when we are absent, such will we be also indeed when we are present. So essentially, people are like kind of saying they like what do they call those people nowadays? Keyboard warriors. So they're thinking they're like letter warriors for real. But he's like saying like no, like we are really like that. For we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, understand it not. Right here. And of course he's doing it through a humble medium. So he's saying we could, like, we like that, but we don't go around boasting that we like that, even though Yahushua has given us the right, like the authority to do so. So he's basically saying like, they like that, but they don't want to be like that. They don't need to have to be like that, but they can get like that. Let's continue. Let's see. Verse 12. For we dare not make our... Oh, no. I'm sorry. We already read that. Verse 13. But we will not boast of things with our measure, but according to the measure of the line which Yahuwah hath distributed to us, a measure to reach even unto you. Right here, you see, instead of rule, we have line. There's a lot of manuscripts in this one. Verse 14. For we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, as though we reached not unto you. For we are come as far as to you also in preaching the gospel of Christ. Not boasting of things without our measure, that is, of other men's labors, but having hope, when your faith is increased, that we shall be magnified in you, according to our rule, abundantly. Instead of enlarged by you, we have magnified in you. And verse 16. To preach the gospel in the regions beyond you, and not to boast in another man's rule of things made ready to our hand. Verse 16's manuscript right here. Instead of line, we have rule. Verse 17. But he that glorieth, let him glory in Yahusha. For not he that commendeth himself is approved, but whom Yahusha commendeth. Alright. That was the last verse. And that was chapter 10. We are going to say Yahusha's prayer and then wrap up the video. So those of you who would like to join me, please do so. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. As always, I want you to know that I genuinely love you, and that Yahuwah loves you. If you're ever feeling alone in this world, just know that you are not alone. Yahuwah has always been with you, and He's with you right now, waiting for you to open up the door of your heart so that you can let Him in, and you can feel His presence, His love, and salvation. If you find yourself dealing with anxiety, depression, or fear, which produces doubt and stress, I highly suggest that you seek out a relationship with Yahuwah, not only for divine guidance, but also for a personal friendship. He will easily remove all of those burdens and replace them with the 9 fruits of the Spirit and much, much more. If you find yourself in a constant struggle or endless cycle or within a challenge or test, just know that you'll be able to overcome the situation you are in. Yahuwah does not put us in situations that we cannot handle or overcome, but in those moments He is trying to refine us, He is trying to mold us into something greater and reshape us into something more perfectly aligned with His will. So it will be difficult and it will be stressful, but all you have to do is have faith in Yahuwah. Have faith that Yahuwah's will is playing out in your life. Be honest with Yahuwah, meaning to confess unto Him. Be honest with yourself and be very observant and self-reflective in the situation you're in, and you'll be able to pull the answers out of yourself to overcome that situation. For those of you who have never fasted before, I highly suggest that you try going on a water fast, meaning to eat no food and just drink water. If you haven't done that before, try doing it for 1 day. If you can achieve 1 day, then go for 3 days. If you can achieve 3 days, then try to strive for a week. It is something that is very mandatory for us to incorporate into our belief and our worship and our faith in Yahuwah. And Yahusha also tells us that great prayer that can move mountains only comes through fasting. So make sure you're fasting. For those of us who have just discovered this path of righteousness, or have been walking on it for a short time, or walking on it for a long time, let us all take this moment to thank Yahuwah for the experience and opportunity, and let us continue to pray to Yahuwah that He keeps us on His path of righteousness for His mighty name's sake. I pray that you are having a blessed day and a blessed night, and I will catch y'all in chapter 11 in the book of 2 Corinthians. Joel, love and peace.